Construct, concept. Vertebrae. In the caveman sleeps upon a rock in dripping deeps, and hungers for the vanquished hide before him, dead mass that once went rumbling in the wilderness. He cannot live emaciated. He lives to eat. I know that pain is older than comedy, so I wonder if humor has been yet discovered, or if the wheel has rolled on through. Supposition. In the caveman sleeps upon a rock in dripping deeps, and hungers for the mutilations of the vanquished beast that lies defeated before him. Cannot live emaciated. He lives to eat. I know that pain is older than comedy, and that to exist is a baser preference than that of amusing the mind. Those endless projects of a mind afraid of its ailing. This fear is a young fear, an early kink in the development of an eventual man who will respond goodly to good things with an international gusto, exceeding what one would get with fear. I think of how long it took for cavemen to grow weary of merely circulating, just as we will grow weary of fearing, browsing the ageless canyons and other natural depths and ascensions before it was needed to keep new constructs, concepts manifest in that part of our throbbing brains cannot rest, and would make plummet the body from a vertical length of some distance if not indulged with external stimuli, which in turn promotes internal stimuli, finally bridges the burn, the want of change over into an action that consumes and no sooner must be fed. The action, made thrust into the world by a miracle. Man's buoy above fatalism, by the imaginary hoo-hoos of a brain in heat. But the mind still survives that cannot survive itself. The body still can linger under the direction of vacant thought, so I wonder if humor has been yet discovered, or if, perhaps, a wheel is rolling mutely in the wilderness. So, the idea behind that poem is, I got to thinking, when exactly did people need to start amusing themselves? When did simply surviving become not enough? You know? When did the brain develop to the point that it got bored? You know? Because, I mean, you look at a cat, and it can just fucking lie in a chair all day and not get bored. Seems like humans, we need something to preoccupy ourselves. And my old pal Blaze said, and I'm paraphrasing, without examining every particular pursuit, it is enough to comprehend them under diversion. So, external pursuits seem to me just to have existed only because we get bored. We get bored of just surviving, of merely circulating. And we need something more to do with our lives than just that. When did it become necessary for humans to get outside of themselves? You know? And I think that point in our evolution was, or is, as important a step as the invention of the wheel, because it provided us with drive, the drive to get to the next step, that ability to not be satisfied, you know? And the problem is, you know, that's a very hard feeling, not being satisfied. I mean, you don't know whether or not you've accomplished anything sometimes. I can stay up all night writing something or doing something productive, and by the end of it, I feel like I haven't done anything at all. I can create something and feel like I've created nothing. And in a way, in a weird way, when I'm not doing anything at all, I'm not content because I'm bored, but I'm a certain species of neutral, I guess. And what I mean by that is that I don't have anything to not feel accomplished about. So if I were to try to accomplish something, that would give me an empty feeling. If I were to never even try, then I wouldn't have that empty feeling, because I view all my accomplishments as failures. So if I don't fail, then I succeed in being happy with not trying, if that makes any sense. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird to think about. I'll read you one more thing, and then I think I'm going to call it quits for tonight. It's called Eclipse. Ready? Alright. When my skin is dusted with lie, when the bottom falls further down, when I can no longer see through both eyes and the world drowns for the last time in a peaceful lake. When the eclipse is broken, when it subsumes itself and includes both sides of the sun and of the moon, rending both from both. The world flips like a galactic acrobat, twisting inhumanly to fit the form of a inhuman judgment that sizzles in the common mind like an egg of the apocalypse fractured, the pathetic membrane left to bleed out and fry on the pavement, scorching under the heat of some distant powerful star we once had praised. When the ellipse is deranged, when the seasons go quickly flat, when the world is no longer strange to those who see it as made for a reason, and finding no reason implant strangeness and imbue the ageless with daffy mortality. When I am dead, the world will be dead. I will not be happy. I will not be grim. I will look for him and find myself in the spaces, the spaces where I did not look, while I was alive, and while the hook of the moon turned back to a circle from the eclipse. Too soon. Too soon, man. You can stop short of the mark, or you can go ahead of the mark, but you can never attain it. There it is.